And welcome to the National League Championship Series between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds. It is a rematch of the 2027 National League Divisional Series between Atlanta and Cincinnati, a series that went down to the wire. It went to game number 5 in the same exact location of Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, that game number 5 was won by the Reds on their way to win the National League in 2027. Obviously, they ended up going to the World Series in a losing effort to the Los Angeles Angels, but the Angels are a team that has been eliminated by now in this 2028 postseason, as we are finally down to 4. The Atlanta Braves have gotten rid of the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Divisional Series, and of course the Reds just got finished defeating the St. Louis Cardinals in their series. In the American League, real quickly, you got Astros and Orioles. The Orioles took down the Twins in 5, and the Astros completed a sweep of their in-state rivals of the Texas Rangers. So the Braves just went 5 hard games against the Dodgers. They've got themselves back in this NLCS spot, where the winner, of course, will head on to the World Series. The Reds are trying to make it 3 straight World Series appearances in just as many years, and of course, it starts again tonight in the NLCS, where they will have their ace on the mound in Jose Urquidy. And folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more MLB The Show 24 and the Cincinnati Reds franchise mode here on the channel. Spencer Strider gets the start in game number 1 tonight for Atlanta. And here is the aforementioned Urquidy in game 1 of the NLDS against the Cardinals. Went 8 innings, gave up no runs, a whip of .38. What a start for Urquidy, and he's going to get it going here against the Braves with a Ha-Sung Kim pop out to Matt Olson. 1 down for the former Red, Kyle Tucker. Of course, Tucker and Olson involved in that trade. They are playing on opposite sides of the ball here tonight, and Jose Urquidy will strike out Ronald Acuna Jr. Here is Strider, 2-0 record so far in the postseason, 14 2/3, 3.07 ERA. He will start things off by striking out TJ Friedl. Elly De La Cruz is going to blast a fastball, though, on a 2-2 pitch. Deep right center. It is out of here. Elly De La Cruz finally gets one in the postseason here in 2028. His first 393 feet puts the Reds on top. This man will keep dabbing, but it's fine. 1-0 Reds, thanks to Elly De La Cruz solo home run, bringing up Bryce Harper, the same man who killed the Braves last year in the postseason. Harper strikes out, more on that later. Yordan Alvarez strikes out on a circle change as we go to the top of the second. Austin Riley going to start off the inning by flying out to the center fielder in TJ Friedl. But if you missed game number 5 of the NLDS last year in 2027, Bryce Harper pushing the Reds over the top. 2 solo home runs in that game was enough to propel the Reds to victory, as Jarred Kelenic gonna get the Braves on the board here in the NLCS. It took the Cardinals 19 2/3 innings to finally score on this Reds pitching staff of the NLDS. It takes the Braves less than 2. Kelenic takes Urquidy yard. Sean Murphy hits that ball hard, but it's gonna be caught. Still 1-1 is our score going in the top of the second on a 2-2 pitch. Matt Olson going to hit one the opposite way to the third baseman in Austin Riley. That'll be the first out here of the bottom of the second, as Will Benson will hit it to Austin Riley as well, this time in the air. The pop out is the second out the inning. Spencer Steer on the 1-2 pitch hits that front door curveball, and again, every out goes to Riley here in this second. As we move on to the top of the third, Brendan Rodgers up first for Atlanta. He's going to get popped out on a fastball. That'll be the first out of the inning, bringing up the 9th spot, Dylan Cruz. The 1-2 pitch, Cruz swing and a miss on a curveball. 2 down for Ha-Sung Kim on the 2-2 pitch. Kim hits one in to right center. That ball's going to get down. Kim is on with a 2-out double, putting a runner in scoring position here for the Braves and for Kyle Tucker. On the 2-2 pitch, Tucker hits that fastball into center field right to TJ Friedl. Friedl going back on it, and this game is still tied going into the bottom half of the third inning. Francisco Alvarez first for the Reds, hits that ball very hard to the third baseman Austin Riley, but Riley has been gloving everything so far tonight. 107 off the bat for Alvarez is an out. Matt McClain looking silly on that slider away as he chases, and TJ Friedl barely gets a hold of that fastball in the left field. That one's caught by the former Mariner in Jarred Kelenic. Ronald Acuna Jr. leads off the top of the fourth with a single. That circle change is hit back up the middle. Acuna's on first for Austin Riley on the 1-1. Riley hits that high and inside fastball into right field to Bryce Harper. 1 out for Dominic Fletcher, the first baseman, and the replacement at first for Olsen hits that ball on a line to De La Cruz. It's the second out, and Jared Kelenic will strike out after his home run earlier in this game. 1-1 still is our score on to the bottom of the fourth. And both these pitchers doing a tremendous job. Spencer Strider sits down Elly De La Cruz, and he will sit down Bryce Harper. Harper cannot pull the trigger. Yordan Alvarez strikes out. Strider sets down the side on strikes. As again, Urquidy's doing his job as well. Both these pitchers pitching tremendously here in game number 1, as Urquidy now gets Brendan Rodgers on strikes. Dylan Cruz in the 1-1 pitch. The former Louisiana State Tiger hits that one right to TJ Friedel. To the bottom half of the 5th inning we now head. Here's the former Brave Matt Olson, chops one up the middle, but of course straight into the shift and right to Ha-Seong Kim. 1 out for Will Benson. A horrendous looking swing on a slider. 2 gone. Spencer Steer against Spencer Strider. Strider's going to win the battle, as that is a line out into right field. To the top of the 6th, who will break through first against a stellar starting pitcher? It's not going to be Ha-Seong Kim. He grounds out. Kyle Tucker on the 1-2. He's 0 for 2 in Cincinnati tonight. He will now be 0 for 3. He was never the biggest performer when it came to the postseason with Cincinnati, and he's not doing it so far here with Atlanta. Tucker comes into today batting 200 in the postseason through 2 series. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Francisco Alvarez leads off the inning by lining one to right, hitting the ball very hard, 109, and oh my goodness, Matt McClain goes to the deep center. A no-doubter by the 9-hole hitter, the second baseman, Matt McClain hits it a mile into center field. 430 feet. Matt McClain has made this game 3-1 for the Reds. A huge home run for Cincinnati, and they are the ones to break through against Spencer Strider. Of course, the Alvarez singled the McClain home run. We will take it. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. TJ Friedel grounds out. Don't know why he slid into first, but it's fine. Elly De La Cruz led off the game with a home run. Or I guess his first at-bat was a home run. He strikes out. Harper's 0 for 2. Bryce will now be 0 for 3. An unusual bad start to the postseason for Bryce Harper. As we go on to the top of the 7th, Austin Riley leading things off. Pitch number, I believe, 94 for Jose Urquidy. That's going to be a line out, though, into center. Pitch now 103 to Dominic Fletcher. Fletcher, though, just going to fan that one into right. Bryce Harper has got it. 2 gone. Jared Kelenic on the 1-2 pitch. On the ground to Spencer Steer. Steer to first. That does it. Urquidy goes 7 innings, 1 run, as Ian Hamilton, who had a 5.52 ERA in the regular season, gets the ball for Atlanta to start off the bottom of the 7th. Yordan Alvarez hits that ball hard into center field, but ranging over to make the grab will be Dylan Cruz. Here comes Matt Olson, gets a center cut sinker, and he does exactly what you would expect Matt Olson to do. That is going to be an extra base knock for him, and Matt Olson is in with a 1-out double. Bringing to the plate Will Benson on the 1-1. Homered in the last game in game number 3 in St. Louis. This one is going to be flown out into center field. It will be deep enough to tag Matt Olson. He will be 90 feet away here with 2 gone. Looking for that other insurance run for the Reds. Spencer Steer is going to get hit. So they're on the corners for Francisco Alvarez. On the 2-2 pitch, Alvarez takes a bad-looking swing on a sinker. As we go into the top of the 8th, I don't know why Felix Bautista still gets his own special entrance. Like, you're just the setup man. Like, I get it. You were good at one point. He's just... you know, he's a better Hunter Harvey in our game. Actually, Hunter Harvey's been horrible for the Nats recently. But anyways, Bautista gets the first down, the ground out. He will now get Brendan Rodgers to fly out to TJ Friedel. 2 down, Dylan Cruz in the 2-2 pitch. That ball is flown out into right. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the Reds up by 2, but looking for some insurance runs for their closer, Garrett Crochet. Joe Jimenez pitching for Atlanta here in this inning. He will get McClain, who is the reason why we're up, to fly out into right field. TJ Friedel on the 1-2, swing and a miss on a circle change down, bringing up Elly De La Cruz on the 2-1 pitch. Ellie's got the homer already tonight. Does he have it again? That ball's got some carry. It's got some pop off the bat as well. It is out of here. Elly De La Cruz makes it 4-1 Reds. 416 feet off of the bat of Elly De La Cruz gives the Reds that insurance run we were just talking about. 4-1 for Cincinnati. Bryce Harper will obviously get an at-bat now in this inning as well, but a very solid home run for Elly De La Cruz right there. Bryce Harper going to ground out to second base. He finishes tonight 0 for 4, assuming this game is over after this top of the 9th, as here he is, the lefty, Garrett Crochet, coming out for the save. Crochet will come on to see Ha-Sung Kim in the top of the order, and Kim is going to get jammed on that fastball in. TJ Friedel has it. First out the inning. There you go. Now up will be Kyle Tucker. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He is DHing for Atlanta, and Tucker will ground out to his former teammate Matt McClain as the Braves are down to their final out. Ronald Acuna Jr., the face of their franchise, will get popped up in the infield. Matt McClain calls off Steer, De La Cruz, and Olsen, and that does it for game number 1 of the NLCS. The Reds are still yet to taste defeat here in this 2028 postseason. They are 4-0 after a 3-game sweep of the Cardinals. They take game number 1 here against the Atlanta Braves at home at Great American Ballpark. A dominant victory. 4-1 will be your final. Let's see how the Reds can keep this up throughout the course of this postseason. Of course, they will turn to their former Cy Young winning pitcher in Hunter Green for game number 2 tomorrow night. So folks, thank y'all for watching episode number 93 of the Cincinnati Reds franchise mode here on MLB The Show 24. If you haven't yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you are enjoying the series so far. Give a look out for watching, and Mamba forever.